In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple sales funnel using an info product. And I have taken inside of Convertry a simple info product sales funnel. I imported that funnel and created this demo funnel here. So it has a whole bunch of components. Notice that it starts out with the opt-in page, the thank you page, the sales page, checkout page. All of these are connected in the typical funnel. I've disconnected them on purpose here. This is a video sales page, delivery page, upsell, downsell. So it contains absolutely everything. This is going to be a very simplified funnel. We'll do an advanced one later, but this is going to be a very simplified funnel. I'm simply going to have people opt in, and then I'm going to take them to a download page that has an introduction to a sales piece on it. So that's how we're going to create this. I've connected these two right here. Both of these pages have been published, and now I'm going to show you how I did that. So what I did was I created this funnel right here, because there's a couple of key elements here on this page right here. Rather than delivering, and I want Convertry to deliver my my lead magnet, but that's my info, that's my opt-in option, and I want Convertry to deliver that. So what I've done is I've created this little lead magnet here, and remember, always do this. I didn't put any bullets here other than just to remind you that you need to have really good bullet points here. You need to have a great title for your lead magnet, and you need to have a visual for it. So I've just drop those elements in here so you can see them. But make sure that you have really, really good bullet points that would cause somebody to want to give you their email address because they just have to have this thing. So here's what I did. This is connected to a form. I'm going to click on the form over here so you can see this. This is a form, and this one goes to my active campaign. Okay, so when you first do this, when this is disconnected from ActiveCampaign, it gives you an option of which list in ActiveCampaign you want to pick. I've picked this so it goes into a list, which is a typical kind of a dummy list that I use to demonstrate these options here. But I want to make sure that I have a place for email and a place for first name, last name, that kind of thing. Okay, so the other thing that happens is there's a post-submission redirect, which what is it that you want the person to do once they have submitted or clicked on the submit button, which in this case I've renamed that, or I actually have the button is actually called submit. So where do I want them to go? I click on this. When you have that little arrow connecting the two pieces, it will make the suggestion that you go to that second page. So you want to make sure that you have that second page done and published so that you can connect them here. All right, given that you're done. And so what this is going to do is, and I'll walk you through the process here. This is the way it looks when it's finished. I put my name in here, and I'll use use an email address, and when I hit submit, I want this to go to that second page. The great thing about Convertry is it goes lightning fast, so there's no delay in this. So I go to it tells me it's sending the form, and then it pops up. This is the key here. I have put the download button on this second page. Underneath that second page, and this is in a drop-down box, and that's underneath that second page is my sales letter. That's the piece that I want people to get, okay? So when I click on download, a couple of very important elements here. On this download, what's going to happen is that person is going to be forced to download, and when I click this, you'll notice down in the lower left-hand corner that this downloads, all right? So now I've downloaded my PDF file, which was that book, and left with this video facing right here. This is going to be really important because I have delivered, and then I have given them, I didn't give them the option of clicking out. What happened was once they downloaded, then they were taken directly to this page, okay? It doesn't have that same funnel look and feel, and this works fairly well to be able to capture people's attention. And now if you click on the video will play. It takes them to learn more. This learn more might be my sales page. It might be the checkout cart, depending upon what I have in this video. But a really, really simple couple of steps involved in creating this. So let me show you how I created this page so that when it opens up like this. because this, I believe this is where you really make things work, okay? Now, this button is live, so when I click this, it disappears, but they just lost their ability to download. So you want to make sure that they download what they opted in for, okay? So let me show you how we do that. I'll go back over here, and we're going to use a layer to do this with. And notice you see this layer right here? Close this. See this layer right here? Layers are really a very, very valuable part of Convertry, and I love them. So let me show you how to create a layer. First thing you do is click on layer, and the next thing that you do is you create one. So in the process of creating this layer, what happens is this. You give it a name. Once you've given it a name, this window opens up right here. Now, if I have to show the layer. So I click on this. What I've done is I've made this background. You'll notice right here's my background. My backdrop color is right here. And so I have the backdrop color. I picked a very light green for this, and that is my backdrop color. The second thing is I wanted to make sure this starts out visible on that published page so that when the person actually gets there, this is what it looks like. The first thing they see is that download button. I'm delivering the promise. The promise was you're going to get the book. Here's how you get it. You have to download it. All right. I've made this kind of a two-step process so that we get them to this sales page, and they have to download before they get the sales page. But when they download, they do get the sales page. Very, very important two-step process. Okay. Back over to here, show you how I created this. First thing that I do is I make this visible. I made this background here. And then what I did was I simply took and applied a panel right here, just like that. Applied that panel. I put a dotted line around the outside of the panel. I made this kind of ugly so that you could see it, but I put that dotted line around the outside of that. This does have the option of being able to close that, and the way you close that is you do that with triggers, okay? So those are actions up here. I'll show you how to use those in just a second. So I have a couple of elements here. I've got a way to close this. I've got the panel. I've got the headline, and I've got the download button. The download button here came from over here under form elements, and I selected the submit button right here. All right, so that's my submit button, and I inserted that element right here. So let's take a look at how we created that download button so that it does what you see right here. Because I like to do this, I always like to change my color, particularly when you got a lot of stuff going on the page. We don't have a lot of stuff going on the page, but I kind of have this signature thing that my button's going to match the color in my page, but then when you roll over the top of it, it turns orange. I do that on all of my pages, so I have some consistency throughout what I do. Yeah, the way you do that's really simple. I have this download. The button is going to download. So the options that you have is submit, checkout, link, download, and trigger. So the download button is a button that allows you or forces you to download the document, which has actually been hosted in Convertry. Okay, so the way you do that is you click on this, and it allows you to upload your file right here from off your computer. So have your document ready, upload it here. This was an amazing piece that they put in here, and I'm really glad that they did. So now it gives you the ability to have all of that right in one spot, and you don't have to get an outside link. You don't have to host it someplace. It's actually hosted inside of Convertry. Now it does say it's limited to 40 megabytes, but you know, this is a lead magnet. You don't want your lead magnet to be bigger than 40 megabytes. That'd be huge. So that's the way you create this and force it. Now, this is a really important button, this force download on click. You want to make sure that you have selected that so that what happens is that the download goes to their computer. It goes to their computer and it leaves them on the page without the overlay over the top of that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do it in that order and that you force this download upon click, and then you can add your label right here, whatever you want to do, and you can make that work. All right, change your font sizes here, all that cool kind of stuff. But you want to make sure that you force the download on the link. Now, the way that I have set this up is that this layer is supposed to start out on visible on the published page. Very important. If I start out with it invisible, then I don't have a way to trigger it. I'd have to create a trigger for that. Let me show you how to you create a trigger, and then we'll be done. This is an element right here. Come up here to action, and what I've done, this is a layer trigger, so it'll close the layer, and upon the click, it fades it out, and the layer had a name, and that's the download delivery. Okay, so that's the components in a very, very simple, and this is a very simple, but it's an opt-in with a delivery page, and that delivery page has the option of being able to get something else on that delivery page that would be something that they would pay for. So that's a really simple process to go through. That's one easy way to accomplish the delivery of an info product and make it work for you.